Which is the domain is high in demand here?
I've been in talent acquisition for almost 8 years now, hiring for cybersecurity talents across the globe.
I heard with someone like if for the resume having the number start with plus 971 that Dubai, so the priority given to that candidate. Is that true? So now you must have seen that most of the students are now making their resume by taking the help of ChatGPT. So is there any impact on hiring from that pre-made words, something like that? Is that happen that you got a CV, same CV from us? Let's say you are hiring for
Same
someone,
organization will have same templates.
same template, same CV.
This happens mostly for the SOC.
Then you ask them which one has copied.
No, I asked them if your friend is also looking out for a job because I got a CV as well. It looks same. So
Any advice that any particular certification or the skill set you must recommend to people into the IT or cybersecurity?
no, nothing like that. There's no geographic barrier when it comes to hiring for cybersecurity because they want the right skill set, and wherever it is, we'll pick it up. So India is pretty open in terms of.
And today we are here with another episode. That this episode is little different. Why? Because today we have invited a recruiter directly to talk about. You have seen in our previous podcast we spoke different CISOs, CIOs, and different CTO level of candidates, the heads of the department, what they are doing, what they are looking for. So now it's a high time to understand all about the cyber security and even the IT infra from someone who's expertise into the recruitment and all. And today I have in front of me Razal. Hi Razal, welcome to our channel.
Hi Nitin, thank you so much. Thank you for having me in the podcast.
So, like, we all are very curious to know about your profile. You are invited. We have already gone through, but I want you to just talk about a little more on the camera, like who you are exactly as a recruiter.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Razal. I've been in talent acquisition for almost 8 years now,
It's a good time.
hiring for cybersecurity talents across the globe
Great.
and majorly for GCC and India. Right. I work for a company called Paramount Computer Systems. So we are a regional leader in cybersecurity services. It's been 30 years of existence of Paramount. So yeah, I hire across A to Z in cybersecurity.
So, the very first thing I have already prepared some precise question for you. So, like, you move from being a recruiter from Bangalore to Dubai. So, tell me about your, story behind it.
Yeah, so I started as a recruiter in Bangalore, but then I got this opportunity with Paramount when I was 2 years experienced. So I moved to Dubai. Dubai was almost like a second home for me because I did my schooling here. My
Okay.
family was here already. So I know the dynamics of the place, the geography a little bit. So transition for me was a little easier in that aspect. But then the industry and the region is very different. GCC and India is very different in its own dynamics and things like that.
True.
Yeah, it was fun. It was challenging. Still going good. Yeah.
Great. So yes, everyone, having this question that I should ask. Everyone wants me to ask this question from a recruiter. Like you are into the Middle East, and you hired for the GRC, IAM, different verticals into the cybersecurity. Which is the domain is high in demand here?
Right now, if you ask me, cloud security is in very much demand.
Okay.
Right. And as everybody knows, AI is everywhere. So AI security is something which we see in the coming future will be in high demand.
Okay.
Apart from that, GRC, data privacy because of the regulations. So I would say cloud security and managed services, MSS, is also in high demand. Yeah.
What are the challenges you are facing while hiring for this cloud security or IAM like this?
The right skill set.
Okay.
Right. So the expectation from the clients or even our company to have the right skill set is something which is the first challenge of my hiring. And obviously the people moving from India to GCC, there is a lot of tensions and whatnot, right? So that is one of the challenge which I have to come across every day. And obviously, the cost, the cost and the salary expectations, the market salary is very dynamic, changes a lot.
Yes.
So that's one of it.
So, like when you're hiring your company or like whatever is your experience, even in your peer group, so you people prefer to hire first from the Dubai or directly reach out to the other countries?
Obviously, hiring from the local market is much more easier in terms of the transition and the processes. But then UAE market or the GCC market, the pool of candidates are a little narrower than
Yes.
in India. So we obviously hire from India as well
Okay.
in good count.
So how do you hire the people from the India? What is the main perspective, main key areas like to hire the candidate? This is something then only we will go and hire from the India. Yes.
No, nothing like that. There's no geographic barrier when it comes to hiring for cybersecurity because they want the right skill set, and wherever it is, we'll pick it up. So India is pretty open in terms of when I look for candidates. Yeah.
I heard with someone like if for the resume having the number start with plus 971 that the way, so the priority given to that candidate. Is that true?
No, actually, as a recruiter myself personally, I give priority to the skill set
Okay.
and how it aligns with my requirement.
Okay.
So I don't look at the numbers. So
Okay, so we'll go step by step. Like now, let's say you want to hire someone into the SOC. So what if you being a recruiter like hiring this profile? So what is the first thing you start checking out from the resumes part?
yeah. So basically, when specifically hiring for SOC, one of the major challenge. I'll start with the analyst profile. One of the major challenge we see is that the CV template remains same, right? You get hundreds of SOC analyst CVs, but then we'll have to sit and technically evaluate to understand how much they know, right? So especially when it comes to even SOC analyst, we would or anyone would prefer somebody who's who's come from the networking background, right? So the fundamentals have to be strong.
Acha, that you
Yeah.
checked.
Yeah, obviously. So
That's great.
That differentiates the rest of the CVs from when he comes from a network background, network engineering background, or he has done his CCNA, or he knows how the firewall works, or even any other tool
That's
works.
great.
So that is where we give more weightage and try to conduct the technicals for them first. Then we go to the others.
Excellent. So
yeah.
it means at the recruitment, at the profile shortlisting level, they are checking the background of a candidate.
Yeah. So we in talent acquisition will do the initial screening on how much they understand, what is their background,
Acha,
what all certifications they have done, do they know to integrate all these tools into SIM. So we do the basic technical
Great.
check, and then or else the interviewer might get exhausted by interviewing
True.
a lot
If
of
you did not filter.
yeah.
So you do ask some little
Yeah, we do
technical
because we sit with the business and then we understand what the requirement is. We listen to their jargons, and then we know a little bit to do the initial. Yeah.
I was not expecting this thing because in the from any of my podcasts or when I'm into the conversation with any technical people, so we used to talk about it, boss. If you want a good start, so come with the network knowledge, network security. So I'm happy to see that you people in the recruitment process only you will start filtering out in the very first stage. Ki bhai, that candidate must have some certain background, fundamental knowledge in that. That sound good to me now. I'm happy with that
That's
thing.
also another value addition from the talent acquisition team. So yeah.
Now, that part I can use in my seminars now. I used to take these seminars in India and online webinars. So I used to tell them the candidate, boss, if you don't have the fundamental knowledge, I don't think so that's the right choice. So people jump directly into the
Right.
SOC, to any
You just
simple
learn the
course.
tool and then start analyzing.
Start,
But
yes.
then growing up is going to be difficult. And
Difficult.
challenging
It's
for
a
them.
challenging for them.
Until and unless they learn the fundamentals of the.
Give us something, just unreveal something. If someone wants to, let's first start talking about the SOC. So if they want a good salary, they want to jump the like 10,000 dirham salary in the SOC only. So what should they bring out with the resume? They should come up with the resume.
So basically, they have to be strong in the networking side before even they get into, any other streams or verticals of cybersecurity, right? So I would suggest they make their fundamentals strong first, and then obviously put that in the CV, right? And then try for it.
And you're hiring for the other profile. So let's jump to the another profile. Let's say someone is into the GRC. So what do people look into the resume if someone wants to hire for the GRC?
See, GRC, we have two types of verticals in hiring when it comes to GRC. One is the compliance side, the GRC process management side, the functional consultant, or we have the technical side of it where, vendors like RSA Archer, developing those solutions.
Okay.
So there are two kinds of hirings. So when it comes to compliance, we'll see how strong the guy is in process, the compliance side of it. And when it comes to technical, we have some key pointers like the requirement gathering and the data driven, etc. So there are key points which we look into when we specifically hire for the technical roles.
Great. So let's move to the another part, IM. Let's talk about the IM. So now for the shortlisting the profile of IM, What is it?
I have majorly hired for SailPoint,
Okay.
SailPoint developers.
Okay.
So specifically the IAQ or the SailPoint IAQ. So there are few areas which we look at when we see a SailPoint development CV. Obviously, when we speak to them, we understand how many projects they have done end to end developing. So custom workflows, right? There's a lot of things which we try to get from the informations, and based on that we process for the next one. So we do the initial basic check. We understand, when I see a CV,
Okay.
so uh, uh, with the pointers given, I understand if he has done end to end or not. So that's
Great.
how we segregate.
How about that VAPT?
VAPD again, it's pretty straightforward. Somebody who has done an OICP certification
Okay.
definitely states that he's really good in manual testing.
Acha.
So we only look for manual testers. Running tools, yeah, obviously is an add-on, but then somebody who has done manual testing, black box, gray box.
So that you hire for the pen testing,
Pen
and for
testing,
vulnerability, if you planning, if do you hire for the this VA profile?
Yeah, vulnerability assessment through scanning through tools.
Yeah.
Sometimes, rarely, but then most of the requirements are for manual testing.
ठीक है.
So, yeah.
So that should be good in black box, gray
Yeah,
box. You
yeah.
people are aware with this.
Yeah,
HR are also aware with all this thing, the
Yeah.
terminologies.
Yeah,
That
so
sound great.
that's how we initially screen them. So if we see he's an OICP certified, there's no questions. We know how tough the exam is, so that also matters.
Great. And what about the other sectors here into the cybersecurity, privacy or threat? So do you people hire about that these profiles also?
Which one? Sorry.
Threat
Threat
management.
yeah, that comes in the MSS.
Okay.
So threat management, threat intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes in the SOC hiring part.
Okay, that you hire
So
with
when we hire for an L2 level of analyst or L3 level, so we may prefer somebody having the threat exposure as well, threat management.
someone having a gap, someone having irrelevant experience, and then they realize the irrelevant experience that they started in BPO, then take a gap, and then come back to the domain, started anything like tech support or something, and they realize, boss, no, this is not the right thing. So they then they decided to go for the certification, any certification. They decide for the Security Plus or like planning to go into the SOC. So do your people work with this profile, let them enter into the cybersecurity domain, or there's some constraint on it?
There's no constraint
Okay.
as far as my company or I am concerned, and most of the companies across now. So what we look is definitely their skill set and their hands-on experience, right?
Okay.
Even they have a career gap, or even they chose to come into cybersecurity. They do a lot of certifications, which is very good. They get the practical knowledge as well. But then we look at how much the person has hands-on, or the real-life scenarios. If he has worked, if he has interned with any other company and shadowed any project. So if he understands the technology very well, so we still hire them.
Okay.
If we see that he has the potential to grow, right, we always give them a chance. Yeah.
So let's say I'm a guy basically in India, and now we are going to start in Dubai. So we are the people who help the candidates to enter into the network security, or of course cyber security. So what is your suggestion to me? Let's say, Nitin, if you want to prepare a candidate, the candidate already having the background maybe in network security, now preparing for the cyber security, or just a fresher, so I start from the networking. So what is your recommendation, that guy if having a gap or irrelevant experience? So how should I start in that part to help them to get placed at a good level, let's say in Dubai?
Yeah. So ideally, what I recommend to any graduates or anyone who is trying to come into cybersecurity is that set your fundamentals right, number one. Now he needs to identify which route he has to take, which vertical he has interest in. It can be ethical hacking, maybe
Right.
it can be GRC.
Absolutely
He must have interest in SOC
Yes.
or cloud security. He needs to understand that. Sit with somebody who has got that experience in the industry like you, and understand which this is my interest, or this is my area of interest, and now from there, how would I get there? So that based on that, for example, we take candidates who are Azure fundamental certified, right? Which means that he will understand the fundamentals of the Azure environment in cloud security. So if the person is interested in cloud security, you can recommend that this is something, these are the courses which you have to take, and then go for internship, get the hands-on practical experience, and then from there you will take your career, right? Similarly for IAM, what he has to do,
Right.
initially the initial certifications, the hands-on lab experience of if at all somebody wants to get into SailPoint development, right? He needs to have that lab exposure of creating or developing from scratch. So it has to be custom made, tailor made for each candidate based on their interest.
So like I want to know, like, you're hiring, let's start with the IM, or let's start with this cloud security. You're hiring someone for the cloud security. What certification you look first thing as on the resume that he or she must have in their
So there
background?
there are certifications like AZ 500, AZ 300, 400. So administrator, Azure analyst certifications, Azure administrator, Azure engineer. So those are the certifications which we look at when we give them a chance for interview.
Great. And for IM?
IAM is a little more, broader than
Right.
the cloud security. So what happens is, IAM, the candidates or the graduates start with user access, right? User access reviews, user configuration. So more than certifications are actually specific to the, vendor tools, right? For example, SailPoint, Okta, Ping Identity. So there are different subdivisions in IAM itself, right? So the PAM, the privilege access management, the IAM governance side, the PIM side, the SSO, MFA. So they have to learn a little more. It has to be from the hands-on experience. I would recommend more than certifications in IAM.
Okay.
It has to be a hands-on experience in real life projects
That you people focus
yeah
on.
yeah
And for the GRC?
GRC, again, as I've told you, if it's a technical site, then the technical certifications of maybe different vendors can be Archer, RSA Archer, or the other vendors available in the market. If it's a compliance side, you should start with the consulting background of understanding the regulations, the governance, the standards, ISO. So he has to have that auditing, starting with the auditing, kind of maintaining the ISMS
CISA is also
framework.
works here?
Sorry?
CISA?
See, CISA, that is more like a an add-on when you have acquired the fundamentals,
Okay.
right? When you have started hands-on,
Okay.
then you go for CISA, CISM, CISSP.
Excellent.
Yeah. So if you want to level up in your career, maybe in the future, in the seniority level, but for mid-level engineers who is doing the on-ground stuff on ground, I would recommend you have the hands-on. You start deploying. You start administering tools. That's how it is.
Um, any specific certification you look for the SOC profile?
SOC depends on which SIM tool. If you're hiring an analyst,
Yes.
obviously there are the SIM tools. The vendor may differ, but the functionality or the fundamental remains same. But still, we look for the specific experience in that vendor SIM tool. For example, if I'm hiring for Logarithm or QRadar or ArcSight, we look at that specific vendor tool, vendor
ठीक है.
experience. So that's for the analyst side of it.
ठीक है, तो this is very common thing, that's, but still thank you for sharing all this information with us. So now like I already prepared a question for you, like what's one thing most job seekers misunderstand about applying for cybersecurity roles abroad, especially in Dubai or the Gulf region?
Especially when you apply for GCC roles, I would suggest that you understand the country very well, right? The dynamics of it. What are the opportunities in here? It's not like India. It's pretty smaller, and it's not like in India that you find hundreds of analyst jobs, right? Here it is limited when it's compared to India, and the entire lifestyle or the cost of living and everything is different. So the candidate, before even getting into the technical thought process of moving to Dubai, must understand the dynamics of the country, and if he's ready to move, and also he must understand the beginning starting salaries of SOC analyst profile, which is not very great when it comes to after he moving to UAE, he finally understands that the cost of living is high. The it's difficult for me. India was better. So you need to have that decision made. What is your intent of coming to GCC? Where do you want to? What is your dream, or what do you want to do after coming here? So he has to be prepared in that case, right? And also, obviously, as I've mentioned, you need to be very. It's not like you know a tool and then you suddenly apply, you get a job, and you work for another 10 years. No. He must have that thirst to learn. He needs to know the fundamentals. He needs to understand that I need to level up. So from a SOC analyst, I need to move into the L2, L3, then an advisory role. So that's the kind of mindset you
Done.
should have before moving here.
Now my next question is also very connected. Let's say I have a candidate, 5 to 7 years of experience into the this firewalls already, infra, the good experience into the infra with the this defensive part of the cyber security. Now, if that candidate completed for the cloud security, completed any of the certification you recommended, whether it's Microsoft or the Azure, Azure of the Microsoft from the, and the other is AWS, any of the certifications, and that CV reach out to you. So, what is the first thing you will see that should be there? Then only you are going to hire this guy.
Obviously, the certifications. If
Okay.
he's intending to move from network security or infra to the cloud security, he must definitely do a certain fundamental level of certifications.
Okay.
That shows us that he has the intent to learn. Now we give him some real time exposure, hands-on projects he will pick up. So we give chance to people like that.
You give.
Yeah, we understand how much they know about the cloud security.
Okay.
Obviously, if they've done a couple of certifications, they'll understand the fundamentals of it. Then we give them chance to have projects in real time.
Someone with having that 5 to 7 years of experience, what could be the salary expectation they can cap behind the scene, like they capped into the mind that I can get it.
So for network security, for infra security, 5 to 7 years of experience, if he is into deployment, right? If he can deploy security tools, he can expect anywhere between the range of 15 to 20,000 per month.
Okay, that's a good salary, yeah.
Now it's a different question if he wants to move into cloud security, then he'll have to sacrifice a bit because he's learning, right? So utilizing him for projects are very important. Right?
Yes. Of
So
course.
in that parallelly he'll have to take up that extra effort to learn and move into cloud security, and then as per his interest.
And if instead of cloud security, that person move into the start, finding the interest into the this, he will do hacking, understand the ethical hacking, and start into the pen testing, okay, and start bug mounting, something like this. Now, how you people hire this guy? Do you hire this guy first thing?
Based on for the BAPT roles,
BAPT roles, but background is completely into the network and
yeah,
network
that's
security. Now they
completely fine.
prepare.
That, again, OSCP is something which we always
Okay,
look at and rely on.
perfect.
And we definitely give him technical simulations and scenarios to understand how his capabilities are.
And what is the salary structure this person can expect?
See, anywhere, I would tell you, anywhere for somebody who's L3 level or L2 to L3 level, who's already got 5+, 7+ years of experience, can expect between 15 to 20 when they move from India to UAE.
Perfect.
Yeah, based on the organizations and the roles and responsibilities, it may vary, but then that is the market.
I don't want you to give me the precise answer from your company. I want answer from the average salary. I want to know in your peer group you have seen that, yeah, this guy was offered this much salary in cyber security. I want to know that amount. That getting my point. That's amazed to know. Acha, this much salary has been delivered. So what is that amount you heard into the cyber security? The salary offered,
Which is a good salary.
which is of course a good salary.
Anything about 20.
20
Yeah.
is the average salary. Maximum you have heard
For the technical roles?
for the technical roles.
Yeah, it can varying on the the technologies you work on and the organization. It can go up to 30 as well.
Max.
For the technical, deployment kind of roles.
Acha, deployment. It's for the
Yeah,
deployment
yeah,
roles
yeah.
and
Yeah, and if he moves to the advisory or the manager, that's a different question.
so then it can go up to the.
Yeah, maximum 35. That, but on an average, if it's a technical guy and then who's deploying on ground, and then up to 20 is what he can expect on a realistic level.
Perfect. So now the next is, like, you have emphasized diversity and inclusion hiring in your roles. How can a candidate stand out beyond just technical skills in today's global cybersecurity world?
See, very good question. So more than technical capabilities, what we emphasize would be his attitude
Okay.
towards learning, and how accountable he is, how he is able to take up the ownership. Is he a cultural fit, right? So what is his intent of moving from a job? So those are the other areas which we closely watch, apart from the technical. Even if he clears technical round, and then we think that this is not the kind of guy who fits in the culture or who doesn't have the attitude to learn, we may reject him still. So that's very important.
Great. So by following this question, like there are so many aspirant in India, going back to the India, if I talk about, so many aspirant in India having that dream to get a job to the country like Dubai. So what is the first thing you want to convey them to avoid while giving the interview or applying for the job?
Yeah, basically, as I've told you earlier as well, so understand the country very well. So
Okay.
he may have a relative, a friend, or a colleague who is already here. So understand what the country is all about. What is it offering, and decide first if he has to make a move to Dubai, right? And if he's making a move to Dubai, he must understand what are the opportunities prevailing here in the first place. What roles can he find out? What is the market salary for that? Understand that and apply based on that, right? If I put up a job post, then I might get 500 CVs, out of which 400 are irrelevant, right? So they keep applying. They really want to somehow move into this country, and for that they apply for other jobs. They apply for what they out of their scope. So don't do that. Just try applying and then reaching out on LinkedIn, and start building them relationship, and then make a decision of moving here, giving interviews.
Right.
Yeah, so that is very important.
Right. So now I know that we already discussed this part, but again, I want to ask the question in a different way, perspective, like from someone who's watching our videos, or that perspective that, like someone is already working in IT networking, you get a call from any of your relative or any of your friend that, boss, I have a younger sibling, or someone in my family just want to go into the cybersecurity and want to enter. I haven't started anything. So what would be the roadmap suggested by you to that person?
So
This guy is very close to you.
mm,
So answer in that way.
so I would give him a clear picture of what he has to do, because being a recruiter, I talk to a lot of candidates. I
Exactly.
understand how the career roadmap is in an organization. So I give them an idea, the high level idea of this is where you could reach from here, right? To do that, these are the things you need to do, right?
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice your life for at least few years.
Okay.
When you are starting in cybersecurity, there's a lot of learnings. There's a lot of weekend learnings. I've seen my colleagues, technical colleagues, who has been still learning on a Saturday and Sunday, right? So keep learning, you then get the exposure, and then you prove yourself, and then take up your career to the next level. So that's I'll have to give them a clear picture of what
Okay.
has to be expected, and if this is your expectation, this has to be done. So that's a way of roadmap which I would give them.
Perfectly fine. So let's say I want to know from your perspective, what challenges you have faced while taking the interviews, especially for the cybersecurity. I want you to share some stories with me, any incidents with me. If you have any incident, you can discuss with me.
See, the challenges, yeah. One of the funny things is that you some of the CVs you may see that he has done 100 things,
Okay.
right? When we speak to them, and then we are not technical people, right? So I have limitations in asking questions and getting that out of him.
Right.
So he would say, yeah, I've done that. Yes, I've done that already. I've done that. But then when he goes to the proper technical evaluation, things are not the same. So that is one challenge. And obviously, when people moving from India to GCC, they'll have a lot of questions. Is this salary enough for me to survive? What will be the rent? And then so that's a time taking process which I
You have
have
to
to
report.
explain to the candidates. Boss, I know this country, I've been here, so this is what you can expect, this is what you get for this. So that again, and people really don't understand what salary they must get here to have a good life. So they can have all the expectations, maybe heard from the relatives or friends, but then we need to set a clear expectation to them, right? So these are the time taking processes which I go through candidates, right? So
That is the major challenges you are facing here.
Yeah.
So now you must have seen that most of the students are now making their resume by taking the help of ChatGPT. So is there any impact on hiring from that pre-made words, something like that?
No, still, if it's a technical CV, there would be still limitations for them getting from ChatGPT, because they have to mention what they have done.
Yes,
Exactly done in their
exactly.
career. So technical CVs are still okay. I mean, doesn't impact. It's what
Why I'm asking
straightforward.
this question, because I was going through a resume, and that resume mentioned something very big into this was the IT infra resume into the network security, and it that concept I just go through and I said, you know that part? He said, sir, no. "No, why did you have mentioned? Sir, copied from ChatGPT. Then it was, I can understand you have done all this thing, but I don't think so. You have done this part, because easily you can, because I'm also, I'm a guy who just giving the guidance and all. I worked as a network engineer. You already a technical guy, and hiring as well. So, of course, you can also understand easily by just reading out the resume, the what in and out of that particular candidate. So that happened.
That
This is what
happens,
I'm
yeah,
asking.
yeah. So in CV, if we may see something, and then even if we do the initial screening, right, then we understand it's not there.
It's
So
not
it's
there.
not there. So yeah, that comes all the time,
So,
even before ChatGPT, because
right.
yeah, they replicate the templates of maybe their colleagues, or that
Is that
happen.
happened that you got a same CV from us?
Yeah,
Let's say
yeah,
you are
yeah,
hiring
yeah.
for
Same
someone,
organization will have same templates.
same template, same
This
CV,
happens
and
mostly for the
acha,
SOC
right.
analysts. Yeah.
Then you ask them which one has copied.
No, I asked them if your friend is also looking out for a job, because I got a CV as well. It looks same, so.
Yeah.
So
So, do they try to fake their roles and responsibility in front of you?
they do sometimes.
And how do you
There have
catch
been
them?
instances. So we get to know. See, there are instances where the video interviews are also bypassed, right?
Acha, right.
Somehow. So there are instances where we get to know only after working for 2-3 months.
Hmm.
Yeah, after them working with us for 2-3 months. So it's always there. Yeah, so it's like cyber attacks.
It's
So
cyber
it's still
attacks.
there.
So, a lot of people in India, I know many of them, that they are doing proxy interviews.
Yeah.
So, how do you people, what exactly is your planning to avoid such thing and finding the right person?
So one of the way would be the video interviews, right?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the way, and then if they're locally available, we would do a face to face as well, right? So, and we have taken certain measures to avoid that.
Here I would like to share my story. So we used to, when we start preparing a candidate, so we have to take the screening to understand whether they are capturing or not, getting it or not. So they try to they try to cheat with us. They try to give a proxy of that. So they just call someone their reference and they're sitting in front of the camera. I mean, we just take the screening or camera on so we can identify. We ask them to just put your hands like this and then give the screening so we can see that you're not copying somewhere or reading from some place. So the guy was not prepared and he's having the earphones. So we asked why you're just put the earphones. So due to the mic or something like that. And that guy haven't practiced anything. So they start talking. So easily the lips, the
The lip
way
sync, yeah.
lip sync is not matching at all. The guy is answering. Someone called me, sir, please join this meeting and check what is happening. And I joined. I have seen. I can clearly see that nothing is matching and keep talking and answering the things. So that was really hilarious. So we
It
should
happened
show
like
them the
this.
recording.
Yeah.
Hey, still confident.
Still,
He's still confident. No,
yeah.
that is me only. We shared the recording with him, just particular clip where anyone can easily understand. He was not talking, but still we can hear the voice. So he says, "Sir, it's a network fluctuation. That's nothing else." So candidates are very confident.
Yeah,
Many of them approach us, sir, give us the options of the proxy and we can pay you extra, something like that. But I think I want your advice here. Like, even though if someone just cross the interview with the proxy and all, how much you can think they can survive in the company?
I don't think so. Maybe a couple of months max.
Couple of months, max to max.
Yeah.
They will be caught
Of
easily.
course, yeah.
I think whenever they just get the real work in front of them, so that time the proxy won't work. So any other advice you want to give to the candidates those are looking into the cyber security to excel themselves, to prepare themselves to get a better salary, better job, not even in Dubai, even abroad, so they can open the gates for the different places?
Their career roadmap, right? Where they have to reach, right? Most of them doesn't. They just want to get into cybersecurity because it is in demand and it pays well. It's a stable, quite stable, domain and all. But then they don't know what to do next,
Right.
right? So they should take advice from mentors who has already been in the industry, or who there are a lot of learning and development happening in most of the organizations to
Right.
set them a clear roadmap, and based on that they need to start learning, right? They learn whatever they have chosen, start learning, shadow for the projects, get into the hands-on. That's how you get there.
Right.
Clearly defined roadmap, that's all.
Thank you. That's really nice. So it was really a nice conversation till this place, and now we are moving to the another part that is called rapid fire round. So we are going to ask few questions from you. That is a rapid question. Of course, you must be a role model for many HRs back in our country. That planning to grow. HR is again a very competitive and place where you have to struggle a lot. Even when we are talking about the cyber security, I'm aware about the HR. I'm hiring the HRs for my company as well. So I already worked with the HR. So again, you're a role model. So what I want you to, in the rapid fire round, that one thing that HR must, I'm talking about not cyber security engineer, I'm asking about the HRs, must kept into the mind while hiring a candidate, a technical candidate.
Must be in their mind while hiring a technical candidate. Um, to understand if he has got the right skill set
Okay. By checking certification or what?
by technically evaluating him,
Okay.
and not only technical, the other cultural fitness and everything. So there's a lot of factors behind it which comes to a perfect candidate. So
All right. So next is like one habit that change your career, and you want to recommend that thing.
one habit which changed. So I started learning.
Okay. Start learn new things.
Yeah.
And you're the example. Being an HR, you're just you have lot of knowledge about the cyber security. I can bet lot of cyber security engineers does not have this much of awareness about the cyber security. That's true. And anything that one myth about cyber security you want to bust.
Uh, that not anybody can be a cybersecurity engineer.
Acha.
I mean,
So any justification, any answer, just connecting words for that.
as I've told you, somebody who understands holistically, and then wants to have a clearly defined roadmap, is somebody who will succeed or excel in this industry.
Perfect. So you have done your schooling in Dubai. So
Yeah.
Dubai in a one word.
Luxury
Luxury. Excellent. And work in India or move abroad.
depends on your need.
Need. So what do you choose?
I would still work in Dubai. I love this country. Yeah.
While hiring, certification or skills? The most important thing first you
Skills.
check. Skills. And any advice that of any particular certification or the skill set you must recommend to people into the IT or cyber security?
Get your networking strong, then move into anywhere.
Get
Easier.
fantastic answer. Yeah, thank you very much for this answer, and I really enjoy the conversation with you, Razal. You have a ultimate experience. I must tell you, I haven't found any part of this conversation that you're not a technical guy, and I'm into the conversation with an HR with HR. So that's really nice. And so, what brings out this information out? That what happens with you that you have this much of, or I should ask it like, what is the scenario happened with you? There's something happened in your past that you realize that, boss, if I want to be hired this particular thing, so I should be good into this understanding of the technical part. So what makes you feel
Exactly.
this?
So that's pretty logical, right? If you are hiring for a role, or even if you have a product, right, and you want to sell it, you should know it, right? So know what you're selling to the candidate, right? So understand the requirement. So that's how I learned all this, the basic fundamental jargons or the technologies. I sit with the BU and understand, what they require, and I listen to whatever they speak. So that's how I and with the experience talking to the candidates and understanding what exactly the requirement is.
So what message you must have some juniors in your company. So what is the first thing that you ask them to just hiring, if you're hiring a candidate, so just keep in the mind if they're working under you.
Based on the requirement,
Yeah.
what is, for example, if we are looking for somebody to deploy a firewall,
Okay.
know what a firewall is firstly,
Okay.
ask them about the projects they've done, how
Okay.
have they done it,
Great.
and how much have they done it.
Okay.
So that's the first question to qualify him technically.
Okay.
Then you take on the conversation, build the rapport with the candidate, understand him more. So first, qualify him based on the requirement. Second, understand him better. And
So I want to know, because I usually discuss with my the followers who follows on social media page or the students, that very first thing is the, like you answered, is the qualify. If you qualify, so the you people check the attitude of the candidate.
yeah, we have multiple tests in place, psychometric tests we do
Okay.
to understand his behavioral skills. And more than that, we as a recruiter, I believe that we should always build rapport with the candidate and understand him more, outside his technical capabilities. So to
Right.
understand his attitude, his intention, and everything. So, and that's how we decide if he's a culture fit or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is, I think, most important part. So if you find a candidate is having, multiple jump into the resume, he changed the job in 1 year or 6 months or 2 years, 4 or 5 change you have seen in the resume, the change. So what is the first thing that you will check with the candidate?
So basically, it's a red flag. If you see multiple hoppings, obviously they would have genuine reasons to do so, and many of the time it may have been genuine. But then it's not a coincidence that you jump companies 4 times, 5 times under 1 year. There must be something wrong.
Yes.
So even if we ask them, obviously they would give us genuine reasons, or maybe something stories hooked up. But then we will understand.
So it make impact.
Yeah, it definitely makes impact.
So you have somewhere back of the mind,
Yeah.
he is a opportunist.
Yeah.
That makes an impact.
May not be a long-term player, so
He or she.
yeah, you'll have to avoid them.
So have you ever taken a risk, like hire such kind of person, and but
I
later
have,
on he
and it backfired. Yes.
backfired?
So this all comes from experience.
Yes.
So we have done that. It has backfired, obviously. Logical.
So I usually, when I'm working with my candidates, so I usually ask them not to just jump. When you've joined your first job, do not jump in a very, they are young. They are in the age of probably 25 or 27 or whatever it is nearby. So when they join, they want, first thing that they crack the job. So they are happy, but they join, they find it, oh, I can do better because I crack it down, so I can. So they immediately start approaching me in 6 months, 9 months. Please help. They know that okay, I can help them. So they start approaching me, sir. I want to switch to this place and that place. That is the offer. What should do? I used to tell them that, boss, please calm down and do not ruin your resume by putting the first thing that you jump in 9 months or 1 year. So please spend some time in the company, learn the dynamics and all this thing, then jump. So how much you're satisfied with my statement?
Absolutely. See, there can be a situation where they could leave within a year. It can be a genuine reason. It can be, many reasons of it. But that is why I always tell the candidates to be very careful when they choose their next employer, right?
Yes.
Understand the company. It's social media. It's everything on social media.
Exactly.
Or you have LinkedIn. You can speak to the people who are already working there. Understand how the company is, how the culture is, and how the growth is, and everything, and then make a decision. Do not jump just for money, right? Just keep on. Then you keep on jumping, and finally, people start rejecting you, thinking that you may do the same. So understand things first, and then
Yeah.
take a decision.
Wonderful, wonderful the way you answered. I really enjoy this conversation with you, Razal, and I'm hoping the best. Like this conversation would help many of the people looking at this, this podcast and just checking out. So must help them in a way they can choose a better options and choosing a better option in not in even in cybersecurity, in other domains as well. So they will understand what HR required. And guys, if you really like it. Knowledgeable and inspire you in any way, so please do not forget to subscribe us if you are new to the channel and share this video, like us. Thank you very much. Stay connected. Bye bye.